on the air. Welcome to the Newmarket Zoning Board of Adjustment meeting for Monday, January 23rd, 2017. And the first order of business is to pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, James is not here tonight, so I need, because he's ill, he's excused for illness. Rich, would you like to sit?
Yeah, I would.
So Mr. Shelton is going to sit as a alternate member tonight, and thank you. And for the record, in addition to the video, this is going out live over the air and being recorded. I've also got my little dictaphone here because it's easier for our secretary to do the minutes later. But it's word for word exactly what's going on over the air, just so everyone's aware of that. The second item of business is the review and approval of the minutes of December 19th, 2016 meeting. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to take a look at those.
I'll make a motion that we accept as transmitted. I didn't have any corrections to it.
Second.
Any further comment? Discussion?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the December 19th minutes as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, and Mr. Shelton is abstaining because he was not present. Our third agenda item is the application of Mike and Elaine Mangan, a public hearing for two special exceptions from Section 1.05B1 and 2 of the Newmarket zoning ordinance, requested by Mike and Elaine Mangan. The existing structure is non-conforming as it violates side setbacks of 10 feet. The applicants are proposing squaring off the northwesterly corner of the building, thereby horizontally and vertically expanding the structure by enclosing a portion of the structure underneath. The property is located at 5-7 Creighton Street, tax map U3, lot 15 in the R4 zone. And I understand we've had no abutter.
We've had no abutters comment.
No abutter comment, okay. So, Mr. LeBeau?
Yes.
Please step forward and tell us what's going on and why your clients are entitled to a special exception. Also, for the record, hopefully everyone's had a chance to go look at this property. I took a walk down there with Mike Hoffman the other day, and everyone around the table is nodding that we've all had a look at it, so the record reflects that we have.
Okay.
Mr. LeBeau, thank you.
My name is Paul LeBeau. I'm representing Mr. and Mrs. Mangan tonight. A little history. The house was built in 1900. It's 117 years old, and it's a duplex, and it's in pretty rough shape. The existing is it's 1,763 square feet. They've recently purchased it, and what they would like to do is tear it down, build on the same footprint. It'll be a duplex again, owner-occupied, and we're looking to increase the square footage by approximately 49%. I have a better picture here. Let's see. Basically, what we're looking to do is, it's hard to see in this angle here, but this porch is at an angle. This end here comes out 7'6" from the house. This end comes out 5'6". What we would like to do is square this off to 7'6" and bring it out to this corner. So the whole, and fill in below here as well. So the whole thing basically would look like this when it's done. Let's see. And here's a footprint of the existing here in the shaded area, and these are the houses next door. This area in red is what we're looking to expand. This porch is currently 19 feet, and like I said, 5'6" and 7'6". What we would like to do is take it out to the 7'6", and then extend it 3 feet this way, the red shaded area. And that comes out to roughly 41 square feet. None of the horizontal expansion will be in the 100-year flood zone. Let's So that's the horizontal part that we're looking to do. The vertical,
Do you have a drawing that shows where the 100-year flood zone is? or-
I do have paperwork to back that up, yes.
Right. Diane says she's checked it. so
Yes, she is.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This here are the existing conditions. This is the Upper Creighton Street. This is the existing house. It's 22 feet 7 roughly to the ridge, and it has a 9/12 pitch on it. The new house would be 29 foot 1 inches to the ridge. So that would be increasing the height of the roof by 6 foot 6, and that's with keeping a 9 pitch as well. The only way we could meet the vertical restrictions, thank you, is if we did a flat pitch roof, and we don't want to do that. It would take away from the neighborhood. We're trying to keep it looking like the other houses in the neighborhood. So that's the only way we could really meet that. So those are the two exceptions that we're looking for. And I think that kind of covered criterion 1 and 2. Criterion 3, the intended purpose is to have a more functional and aesthetically pleasing structure. The increased functionality is going to include the drive-under garages, and that's going to help to alleviate already tight parking area. This single bay, this jog area here would be the apartment, and that would just be one level. They would have a garage bay as well. And then the second area would be the garage, 2 garage for the homeowners, and they would have first and second floor living. And so like I say, that's going to help alleviate the parking. Right now, there's a retaining wall that's here that will be removed. Criterion 4, the proposed expansion, it already has town water and sewer. Criterion 5, it's from my understanding that this only applies in the B1 zone and it doesn't apply to residential properties. Is that correct?
I'm sorry.
Say that again?
It's,
Explain again what you're saying?
the expansion shall not render the water proportionally less adequate.
Okay, that applies throughout. I mean, it's.
Throughout.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the impression it was just in the B,
From researching past applications.
nothing I'm aware of.
Okay, I'm mistaken on that.
You have a postage stamp size lot here, right?
Yes.
My impression, just
Yes.
from looking how densely,
Yeah,
how dense that particular area is.
it is. This is, see, these purple lines are the property line here. I believe we are 8 foot 6 off the existing house here and 7 feet on this side, so yes, it's quite.
So the building effectively occupies virtually the entire
The
lot.
entire lot.
80% or more of the entire lot.
Probably more.
Guessing.
Right. Right. This is the concrete retaining wall that's existing that will be removed.
It's gonna come down and take a peek.
Sure.
If you don't mind. Karen?
Then as far as criterion 6, we think the proposed expansion will enhance the value of frontage of properties as well as the aesthetics of the neighborhood. Like I said, the existing house is in pretty rough shape. The porches are up on the posts. That's one reason why we'd like to bring it all down to solid footing and foundation, and just to clean it up. The house is very visible from Shannon Park. Town has a lot of functions down there, so we really think it would help the look overall. That's all I have. If you have any questions.
I got a question.
Sure.
Your expansion, when we figured it out, on the height was 6 feet, but it's actually 6.6?
It's
I thought we were going
6.6.
from 23 to 29.
35 feet.
I went back through it today, and I had the same thing, I double-checked it. It's, in fact,
It's from 23 to 29.6, or is your height of the present building different than 23?
no, I actually went out and measured it today, I checked it too.
35 feet.
I went out and double-checked
Yeah.
that today too, yeah.
But
What's the
where-
height of
where
the
do we
present
measure that?
building?
The present building is 22'7".
22.7.
Yes,
We had 23,
yes.
22.7.
I was off roughly 6 inches on that.
And you're going to 29 point what?
29.1,
29-1 from the Creighton Street.
correct.
Well,
What about the other side?
that don't count. The tax roll is from Creighton Street on his front door.
Okay.
The door is on Creighton Street, not Creighton Road.
Okay.
The frontage is on Creighton Street.
Huh?
The
frontage
frontage
is
is
on
on
Creighton
Creighton
Street.
Right, yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's what, you guys are saying the same thing.
If you look on your tax
Oh,
rolls,
yeah.
it'll say Creighton Street.
Right.
We're measuring it from
Are you
the...
gonna put in a new foundation?
Yes. Yes.
No, that's a good thing. I would just make one suggestion based on past experience this board's had. Just make sure you have a surveyor come in and,
We would have somebody come in and set the points, yes.
yeah.
Now, your total area
Certified.
expansion is more than 26.35 feet? You said it was 30.
It's 41.
49% increase in this.
Yeah, and do how many square feet?
How many square feet?
I had 26.35, but it seems like you're
2642 is the total proposed.
26.42?
Yes.
I had 26.35, so I just put plus or minus.
Okay.
The height restriction is 35 feet.
Right.
Before we do anything else, I'm going to open the floor for public comment at this time. And seeing no public comment, I'm going to close the public comment portion of the hearing, and we can carry on asking questions and discussing the application.
Well, I have a question then. If it's 35 feet, why are we looking for a,
It's a vertical expansion of a non-conforming structure. So it comes under section 105 of our
Okay.
ordinance. Non-conforming structures can only be expanded horizontally and vertically with a special exception by the ZBA.
Right.
yep, yep,
The horizontal is under B1,
yep,
and the vertical is under B2.
yep.
And I think Rich raised this, and I came up with this question independently, and we ran it by the town's attorney, and he agreed that we needed both. Because you
I
need to get
figured we
both
did
in
right
case, so you
on.
don't have a problem down the line
Yeah,
when you
right.
go to sell the building. If that happens, so.
If anybody's got any issues and we want to discuss them, I can put something forth. If there's,
Now, is that a full foundation underneath the whole structure, or just,
It's going to be about a 12-foot wall in the front here,
okay,
and then we'll drop down with frost walls to get our 4-foot.
but it's gonna be full depth across, so there's gonna be a full foundation under the whole
Yes.
building, all right.
Yes.
Is it moving closer to Creighton Road?
slightly,
The retaining wall is being moved.
The retaining wall is not
It's
considered.
being removed.
Being
Right.
removed.
Okay, so it's not a
I'm
structure.
currently,
How far is it from the edge of the road is what I'm asking, Mr. LeBeau.
currently, it's 9 feet, and we're looking to go out to 7 feet. We're looking to expand front to back 2 feet out.
So it's 2 feet closer to the road.
Correct.
We're not considering Creighton Road as frontage, because the frontage
I understand,
is on Creighton
but it's still,
Street.
it's still,
It's still, so it comes under the setback requirements.
it's still a
which are-
road, it's still a Class 5 road.
right. Yeah, it's a town-approved road.
Yeah, but there's
Elevate.
no restrictions as far as, I mean, the rear setback is what applies.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about traffic and snow removal and stuff like that, that's all.
It's my understanding that that's not a used road? It's a
Actually,
driveway?
It kind of
goes down
dead
to the
ends
wastewater treatment?
at the lift station for the,
Right, so it's
Yeah.
not like a
Yeah,
public
they
road.
go to the pump station or the sewage
the-
plant.
it's the lift station to the sewage plant, it's
Yeah.
right there,
Yeah.
It's probably more limited now, actually, with that
You're
retaining
right.
wall there.
Right,
Right.
that's right.
I think probably the residents are about the only ones that use it, unless we got a problem at the
Actually, I would think
pump station.
if you remove that wall, you're improving the situation.
You are.
Right.
Now, on the sketch you've got here, you got a 5-foot rear setback, but that doesn't seem right.
That was the first one, Diane, that we corrected, and
Yes, that was the first one, and it should be
I'm looking
10.
at it backwards.
We noted that, and I called Mr.
you.
LeBeau, and he made the correction
Okay, that's
on the
fine.
plan, and it was
But
resubmitted.
it's, there's no rear setback required
The rear setback is 10 feet for that particular lot,
All right.
for that lot.
and the side is the same thing.
That's the expansion.
No, I hear what you're saying, Wayne. Even if you're going from 9 feet to 7 feet, removing the retaining wall is essentially
Improves
relieving,
Improves
Whatever,
things,
yeah.
yeah. If
I
you're
understand.
looking to help Rick, it's improving things.
yeah. Last thing I want to do is make Rick's life more difficult.
That's right, he'll follow you out.
You'll never find your driveway.
Any, anything else, Rich?
All right, 10 feet, all right.
No, I'm just double checking.
For you? Jonathan? You can have a seat, Mr. LeBeau.
Okay.
I think we know exactly where to find you if we have more questions.
Okay.
No, I don't have any questions.
I don't have
I
any either.
looked it
It's pretty
over
straightforward
good, I
to me.
spent some time on it.
Okay. Rich, knowing you, you probably have a motion ready to go.
I do. I'll read the whole thing. The applicant's 1900 built property is being located at 57 Creighton Street on a lot of 0.7 acres, as well as 3 other properties that are sandwiched between Creighton Street and Creighton Road. Creighton Street and Creighton Road receive limited traffic as both streets in at the gated areas of town property. Creighton Road to the pump station and Creighton Street to the treatment plant, thereby its limited use would be mostly utilized by the property owners in the town. It appears from visual observation that all these properties are nonconforming related to current zoning. Under 105 nonconformity B1, the applicant has stated, as a matter of fact, I can read all of that if you want, but it's repeating what he said, pretty much. The expanded structure is no closer to the lot line than the existing structure. The proposed horizontal expansion will not be in a 100-year floodplain. The proposed horizontal expansion is intended and needed to square off the northwest corner of the property. There is no other expansion that fulfills this purpose that can be achieved that is in conformance with the ordinance. The proposed horizontal expansion property is town water and sewer. The expansion shall not render the lot proportionally less adequate. The expansion does not adversely affect abutting properties, public health, safety, or general welfare, but rather enhances the value of the abutters' properties and the aesthetics of the public. Under Section 2, portions of the structures within a setback may be enclosed or expanded upwards as granted a special exception. Under Ordinance 305A states, structure height strongly affects the carry of the neighborhood and the allowance of adequate sunlight and earth circulation. The structure upward expansion from 23.7 to 29.1 will not change the character of the neighborhood, as there are properties exceeding the applicant's property of 23 feet in the area and will not have any adverse impact on any neighboring property, including but not limited to blocking of air circulation, views, and or sunlight. Upward expansion is well under the dimensional height of 35 feet. It is not in the 100-year floodplain. The expansion shall not render the lot proportionally less adequate, but by approving the requested special exemption with improvements to health, safety, and welfare of the residents in the area will be vastly improved and more adequate than in its present condition. Now I'm going to read a ruling from the New London Land Association versus the New London and that was 130 New Hampshire 510. And the courts overruled the decision by the ZBA that approved the special exemption, and that pertained to 17 acres of property, land that had 17 housekeeping cabins on it, and the Land Use Association wanted to convert it to 17 condominium units with a clubhouse and storage areas, and they approved it. Now, the abutters took it to court, and I'll quote from the decision from the courts. Nonconformity uses may be expanded where the expansion is a natural activity closely related to the use at the time of enactment of the ordinance creating the nonconforming use. However, enlargement or expansion may not be substantial and may not render premises or property less adequate. Therefore, as this building built in 1900 and its use has remained unchanged since the adoption of the ZBA, and the expansion is not so great, the court's ruling valid to this property located at 5 to 7 Creighton Street. And I would entertain a motion to grant the special exception from section 105B1 of expanding the side setback of 5.6 feet to the northwest area to align the present lot line. This expansion will not be any closer than the footprint of the current building's foundation and the expansion to the rear. The north footprint facing Creighton Road of 22 feet that will align with the side setback. The impact of the rear expansion will be from 0 feet to 3 feet, plus or minus to the northwest corner as shown on the plan of Doucette survey dated November 2016. There shall be no change to the east lot line or the lot line facing Creighton Street. And B2, the further expansion of 6 feet to a height of 29 feet is well under the 35 feet as shown on the dimensions table. And by granting the special exemption for the proposed expansion of 26.35 plus or minus square feet that will make this lot more nonconforming, the applicant will be able to rebuild this building that will have an enhanced value to surrounding properties, a positive effect on the public health, safety, or general welfare of the community, and the aesthetics as viewed from the highly trafficked area of Shander Park and the public parking lot of the town of Newmarket of Water Street. The property is located at 57 Creighton Street, tax map U3, lot 15 in the R4 zone.
Can you repeat that? Just kidding.
What's that?
Can I get a copy of that? I think it'd help Sue
It's right here.
when she comes to,
always
when
have
she
a
comes to
copy.
write it
Very
up.
grateful. Thank you.
I'd be happy to second that.
So Bob Daigle seconded the motion. Any further discussion or comment? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, thank you,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Looking
I
forward to
had
watching
two
it go
little
up.
changes in there that he gave us that I wrote in there.
I hope it looks
If-
great. I hope we have the money to do it.
It'll look better than
Changes.
And what's there?
It was in,
The whole thing's caving.
height was a little different, that's all, it don't amount.
Okay, wish us all luck,
Oh.
please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
Very much.
Come by after it's done and we'll have you over for some
We're
tea.
having a party?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a party. This will do.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, is there any new or old business to come before the board? Thank you, Diane.
I
Go ahead.
have two things. I wanted to bring to the board's attention that, was it last year? It was in 2013, there was a change to the powers of the zoning board, and there was a section that was brought to my attention. And it says that variances shall be valid if exercised within 2 years from the date of approval, or is further extended by local ordinance or by the zoning board for good cause, provided that no such variance shall expire within 6 months after the resolution of the planning board filed in reliance upon the variance. And I wanted to bring that to your attention. And in the past, I think we've always said that variances run with the land, and they are good forever. And this change makes...
They don't.
They don't.
I
That there's
read
a
that,
2-year...
Well, wait a minute,
date-
we're
it's not
talking,
acted upon.
we're
If-
right, we're talking
it
about
has
two
to
different
be-
things.
Correct.
It has to be acted upon within 2 years.
If it's acted on within 2 years, then it runs with
Stays
the
with the
land, then
land.
it's permanent.
Absolutely.
If it does, and
If it's not acted on within 2 years, then it expires,
expires within 6 months.
unless we extend it.
Unless-
Or the local ordinance.
So the local ordinance provides a
Exactly.
longer period of time.
So I just made copies of this for everyone, if you want to
So
include it
you
in your
have
notebooks.
2 years.
So you have 2 years.
To act on your variance.
And there's one that comes to mind that's going to be, well, actually, it was passed before this. There's a couple for you guys.
Subdivision applications expire if you don't vest your rights in them by acting, doing some kind of substantial improvements within some period of time.
Everybody have one?
Right?
Yep, that's correct.
You gotta do something to vest your rights in it. This is the AWL Power case in versus City of Rochester.
That's right. I just wanted to point out that there was a variance that was granted for the railroad junction down at Rockingham Green, in that general area. And that was a couple of years ago, but that was before this was passed. So I recently advised the owner that, no, you don't have to come back to the zoning board. But apparently the town of Newfields, because the property straddles the town line, they have to go to Newfields because they have a local ordinance that states otherwise. I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention.
There's nothing in here to suggest that it applies, that the change applies retroactively. I'm not sure it could. It's a legal question for some smart lawyer to answer.
The second thing I wanted to mention is the planning board is working on some zoning changes, and one of them concerns the continuation of non-conforming uses. And there's been a couple of cases that have come before the board. If you remember the property on South Main Street, where there was a in-law apartment in the basement,
Oh, yeah.
and it had been abandoned for
Yes.
30 years, and the zoning board ultimately did grant it, but I don't know if the project ever went forward, but
They couldn't meet
they
code.
couldn't meet the sprinkler requirements, I think was the issue, but
The fire code
I remember,
stopped it.
we had talked about the need to really nail down a date, and the planning board is looking at a 1-year time frame. So if a use has been discontinued for a period of 1
Yeah.
year, then the vested rights have lapsed.
It was just
They
a
don't
suggestion we
recreate it.
made to bring some clarity.
Yeah,
I don't think it's critical, but I thought it'd be helpful for.
certainly would be helpful for us, because these
Yeah.
questions come up all the time, but I just wanted to let you know that
Yeah,
we're
be careful
making
with
that
some of them
change.
too. You can't take away the people's constitutional right to do something with their land.
It's just a question of whether they have to comply with the current ordinance.
Yeah.
We're not taking away their
But
right.
it
The
can't
current
be,
ordinance-
can't be so great that they can't do something.
Right, the current ordinance is very vague, it doesn't give a time frame.
Yeah.
It says if it's been abandoned for any length of time, well, what does that mean? So,
Well, your girl Roseanne will straighten that all out.
Anything else,
I
Dan?
just wanted to bring that to your attention. No, I think that's it for
Any
now.
other new or old business to come before us at this time? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, the meeting is adjourned. But the camera is still on.